Okay, hi, welcome back to Concept Mastery line graphs. So we are going to look at line graphs, and this should be the last chapter or last topic that we are doing for P4. And we are going to go into P5 and P6 topics. So hopefully with all these concept mastery lessons, that you have a very good understanding on how to use the topic to solve harder problems. So to solve the harder problems, you need to know your basic, right, your concepts. So all these lessons will revise your concept and also to refresh what you have done in schools. Okay, so let's look at the first question. And what is a line graph? Well, a line graph is something like what you see on the board. All right, it's like tables and graph, right? Bar graph, tables, line graph. All these belong to data analysis. All right, so you can see a line graph over here. So there are lines. Okay, there are lines going up and going down. So the line graph shows the number of stands 5 boys have. And you need to study the line graph and then complete the table using the given data. So where's the data? Now you look at the line graph and can you see the meeting points of two lines, right? If you see two lines are meeting, right, then this is where you look for the data, alright? And over here there's a cross here. So if you look at Ali, so Ali has how many stems? Now before you tackle any line graph or before you solve any problem, you always need to count the units, right? You have to count the gaps. You must know how many units are there. So there are two gaps, right? Two units, right? What is a gap? This is a gap. There's a gap here, so there are two gaps. So two gaps, right, is actually equal to 10. So your one gap is 10 divided by 2. So one gap is 5. So you have to do this first before you can start to look at who has how many. So Ali has how many? Ali has 20. Right, so I will put the numbers on the line graph, and then Ben has 10 plus 5. So Ben has 15, right? Ben has 15. Okay, so let me just write a bit nicely. So Ben has 15. And then you go to Friend. So Friend has how many? So Friend has 25. And then you can see Jack. Jack has in between 40 and 50, that'll be 45. And then you can see Sammy has 35, right? 35. Okay, so this is what you must do. Number one, you need to count the gaps and find how big is one gap. Then number two, you put the numbers on the line graph. And then number three, solve the problems. So let's solve the problem. Ali. So Ali has how many? So Ali has 20. And then Ben has how many? Ben has 15. Right? So what do you call the table? What you are doing now is you're putting the numbers in a table. Right, so table also belongs to this category of line graph, bar graph, and all this belongs to one group. Okay, and then you have Frank. Frank has 25, so you put down 25, and then your Jack. Right, Jack has how many? Jack has, if you look at the line graph, Jack has 45, and Sammy has 35. So you put 45 and 35. So that's how you read the line graph to find out the data. Alright, data. Each person has how many stems. Okay, so let's quickly go to the or before we go to the next problem, let me just take a look at the line graph again. So from the line graph, you can actually see who has the most stems. The one that has the one that is the highest point. Right, if you look at the crosses, right, which is the highest point? This is the highest point. So that tells you that Jack has the most number. So who has the least? You look for the lowest point. So the lowest point is the one that has the least number of stems. So that's one way to interpret the line graph. You look for the highest point, and then you look for the lowest point. Alright, to find out who has the most and who has the least. Okay, then let's go to question number 2. And the table shows the results of a survey of some pupils. So study the table and draw a line graph using the data. Okay, so you have numbers in the table. So how do we draw the line graph? You look at the apple. Apple, there are 30 pupils. So if you look at the line graph, the lines is missing. So again, you need to count the gaps. Right, count the gaps first before you do anything. So there are two gaps. So two gaps will be how many? So two gaps will be 10, right? 10. No, two gaps will be 20, right? 20. Right? Where are the gaps? One gap and the second gap. So you have two gaps, right? Two gaps. Or you can also count the lines. So you count 1 and 2. So you have two lines, right? Two lines. Okay, so 2 gaps is 20, then 1 gap is 20 divided by 2, so your 1 gap is 10. And then you can start counting already, right? So Apple has how many? So you look at the table and you can see that Apple has 30, right? 30. Alright, so let's look for apples and 30. So 30 is here and you put a cross. Okay, put a cross there. Okay, and then next one you have the pears. Pears is how many? Pears is 50. So you look for 50. So pears, this is 50, and you put a cross right across there. Okay, don't draw any lines yet. Just put the crosses first. Then later you draw the lines. Okay, and then the papaya will be 70. So look for 70. Right, 70 is here. So papaya will be cross. Put a cross there. And then your oranges will be 80. So which is here. Right, and then your durian will be 100. So you put a cross. Okay, now. So after you put all the crosses already, then you take your ruler and you join from one cross to the other cross using ruler, right? You got to use a ruler to draw straight lines, okay? And then you can see that it's going up, right? It's going up, okay? So that's how you draw the line graph. So this line graph is going up. Okay, so from the line graph, you can see which fruit has the least, or which is the most number of fruits. And that is the durian, right? Durian has the most number because it is the highest point. And which fruit is the least number? And that's the apple because apple has the lowest point. Okay, so the lowest point tells you the least number, and the highest point tells you that you have a lot, the most, right? The biggest number, right? The most. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Alright, so that's how you draw a line graph. So now we look at this line graph that's going up and then going down. So it means that it's increasing. The line graph is increasing. When it's going up, it tells you that there are more and more. Alright, more and more. And when it's going down, it's getting lesser and lesser. So we call it decreasing, right? That's a decrease. Okay, now, so once again, read the question. The line graph shows the diners and the food court from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So study the line graph and answer the questions. So the first thing you must do is you need to count the gaps. You always have to count the gaps first. So there are 2 gaps, right? 2 units. So 2 units is equal to 50. Then your 1 gap will be 50 divided by 2. So your 1 gap is 25. So always remember, you have to count the gaps, right? Because later on when the problem gets harder, right, in your exam, you find that you have more gaps to count, right? You find that it's not so straightforward, not so easy. But if you count the gaps, you will not make any mistakes. So your 1 gap is 25. So how many diners are there at 10 a.m.? So you have 50 plus 25. So that will be 75. And then how many diners at 11 a.m.? So you plus another 25, that will be 175. Okay, so every gap you just add 25. Okay, and then 12 p.m., which is noon time, that will be 250. And then your 1 p.m. is getting lesser people already. So you have to take 250 and minus 25. And at 1 p.m. you have 225 diners. And then at 2 p.m. you will have 125 diners. Okay, so second step you have to do is to put the numbers on the line graph. First step is to count the gaps. Second step is to put numbers on the line graph. And why must you put the numbers on the line graph? So that you don't need to keep counting, don't need to keep finding the numbers. The numbers are on the line graph already. Okay, then you look at the question and you can start solving. So what time was the food court the busiest? So what do? You look for the highest point. The highest point is the most number of diners, which is noon time, or you can call it 12 p.m. Alright, the highest, that is the most number of diners. Okay, let's go to part B. How many diners were there at 1 p.m.? You can see that because you have put the numbers on the line graph, it's very easy to get your answer. So 1 p.m. there are 225 diners. So you just put 225, right? And then let's go to the next one. What was the increase in the diners from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m.? So you have to look for the line that's going up. So where are the increases? Where is the increase? Now, the increase is when you're going up. So from here, going up, that's increase. Alright, and then from here you go up, that's also increase. Right, going up means increase. When it's coming down, then that's decrease. So the question asks you, what was the increase from 11 to 12 p.m. So from 175 to 250, what's the increase? So you take 250, right? Take your 250 and you minus 175, so that is an increase. So you must do your working, right? So you borrow and you lend. So 10 minus 5, you get 5. 4 cannot minus 7. So you borrow from 2, and then the 4 becomes 14. So 14 minus 7, you get 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. So what's the increase? There is an increase of 75 diners from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So that's how you get the increase. You take 250 minus 175 to get the increase. And your answer here will be 75. Okay, next one. What was the decrease from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.? So to find the decrease, you need to look for the line that's coming down. So where's the line? The line that's coming down. So the line that's coming down is over here. So when the line goes down, that is your decrease already, right? Then you look at the time, from what time to what time. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. What is the decrease? So from 225 and then decrease to 125. So what is the decrease? You take 225 and you minus 125. So there is a decrease of 100. So which means that you minus 100, and that's how you get 125. And when there's a minus, it means there's a decrease. When there's a plus, that is an increase. So your answer here will be, there's a decrease of 100. Okay, 100 diners from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, so that's how you look at the line graph to find out the increase and to find the decrease. Okay, let's look at the last question. Okay, the last question, and let's look at this. So again, you can see there are more gaps already. So before you can put the numbers on the line graph, you have to count the gaps first. So the line graph shows the number of TV sets. So in an electrical shop during the first 6 months, right? First 6 months in a certain year. So you look at the line graph and count the gaps. So how do you count the gaps? You don't start from 0, right? You never start from 0, right? Of course you start from 0, but you start counting from where? You start counting from the next line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so you always start counting on the next line. So you have 5 gaps or you have 5 lines. So your 5 gaps is equal to 20 and your 1 gap is 4. Okay, 4. Alright, so January has how many TV sets sold? So January has, look at the dotted line, and you can start counting 80, 84, 88, 92. So January has 92. Okay, so you have to count the gaps first to find how big is one gap before you can find how many in each month. And February has how many? 40, 44, and 48. Right, so February has 48 TV sets. And then March will be 80, right? Very easy to see, 80. And then April will be, you can even count backwards, 120, 116, and 112. So you can also count backwards, right? So April has how many? April has 112, right? 112 TV sets. Okay, and then how about May? May has 80. And you can see that there are 2 months that have the same number, equal number of TV sets sold. 2 months. The 2 months will be, which 2 months? Your March and your May. They have equal number of TV sets sold. Okay, then how about June? June also quite easy to get the number, which is 60. Alright, so once you have put all the numbers inside, then you can start solving. So in which months were 80 television sets sold? Very clear, right? You can see on the line graph, it's very clear to see. March and May, right? So March and May, so these 2 months have equal number of TV sets sold, right? March and May. Okay, and then keep going. What is the difference between the most and the least number of TV sets sold? So how do you find the most number? To find the most number, or which month has the most, you look for the highest point. Okay, and what is the least number? Which month has the least number? You look for the lowest point. And then what's the difference? You take 112 and you minus 48. So what's the difference between the most and the least? 112 minus 48, and the difference is, so you work out the answer, you minus 48, and the difference is 64. So your answer is 64. Alright? Okay, let's go to the next one. In which month were there 44, right? Which month were there 44 more TV sets sold than February? So you need to find how many TV sets were sold in February, which is 48, right? You can see February has 48. Okay, we can put down 48. And then you have 44 more than 48. So what is 44 more than 48? So you plus them together, that will give you 92. So which month has 92 TV sets? So you look at the line graph and can you look for 92, which is January. So January has 92 TV sets that are sold. And now you can put down your answer here, January. So January has 44 more TV sets sold than February. Okay, part D gets a little harder already. And now in April, the TV sets sold to the locals was 3 times the TV sets sold to the tourists. Right? So you're talking about April only, right? April. So April. So how many TV sets were sold to the locals? Then you need to look for April. So April has how many months? So you go back to the line graph. April has 112, right? April has 112 TV sets. So you put down 112, and in April, all these TV sets were sold to the locals and the tourists. And the locals has 3 times. So locals, right, has 3 times compared to the tourists. So the tourists has only 1 time of TV sets, right? So this is talking about April. So April, the TV sets sold to the locals was 3 times the TV sets sold to the tourists. So how many altogether? How many TV sets altogether in this month? Which is 112. So you divide by 4, right? 4 boxes. So 112 and you divide by 4. So every box will be 28, right? 28. And then you can answer how many TV sets were sold to the locals. And you take 28 and then you times 3, right? 28 times 3 and you will get 84 TV sets that were sold to the locals. So it looks hard, but actually it's not very hard also, right? It's quite easy to work out actually. Alright, now which month had the greatest decrease? Then you must look for the line that's coming down. So which month had the greatest decrease in the TV sets sold? Alright, so let's look at the line graph and let's see. Where is the line coming down? From here, this is decrease, it's coming down. So how much is the decrease? You take 112 and you minus 80, that is a decrease of 32, right? That's a decrease of 32. So let me just write again. So here 112 minus 80. So that is a decrease of 32, and I will put down here. So when there's a decrease, there's a minus there. Okay, minus. Okay, alright. So let me just circle all the numbers for each month. So from April to May, there is a decrease of 32. And then from May to June, there is a decrease of 20. So which one has a bigger decrease? Which one has a bigger decrease? Which is 32, right? So there's a bigger decrease. So now can you answer the question? So which month had the greatest decrease in the television sets sold? So it's from where? From April, right? From April to May, right? April to May. Alright, now the question is this. You can't write April and May, right? You can only choose a month. Which month? So which month? Is it April or May? Now if you choose April, you can see that it hasn't decreased yet. April is still 112, right? There's no decrease yet. April is still 112. But May now became 80 already. So which month had the greatest decrease? You look for May, because May has now become lesser already, right? So May has the greatest decrease. Okay, so your answer for the next question will be May. So May had the greatest decrease. Why not April? Because April hasn't decreased yet. April is still very high, right? It's still 112. But May become lesser already. So May has the greatest decrease. Okay, alright. So line graph is not very hard. It's actually one of the topics that you can score quite easily, right? There are some P4 topics which are actually very easy, and line graph is definitely one of them. Also symmetry, also one of them. So you should try to do well for this topic. Alright, so we come to the end of our concept mastery on line graph. So effectively speaking, we have covered almost, I think, all the P4 topics already. So in the next concept lesson, we will now move to Primary 5 lesson. Right, we will now go straight to Primary 5 lesson. So stay tuned for the next concept lesson, and we will start our P5 lesson next week. See you next week.